Hey everyone, how's it going? Cloud here, and welcome to my video on the Sunken Pyramid and Slayer Codex. So, if you guys are watching this video, either it's just popped up on the YouTube page, or you've clicked the link from one of my Slayer guides. But basically, this video is just a short introduction to the Sunken Pyramid and Slayer Codex, as following my new Slayer guides will require you to know a bit about these if that's what you're after. So a bit of background information. So level 120 Slayer only became a thing a little while ago. Obviously 120 Dungeoneering was the first ever actual 120 skill to come out, and Jagex then decided to allow people to get 120 capes if they got their level up to the equivalent of level 120. Now obviously you could do that before with Slayer, however they ended up making 120 Slayer an actual skill like the Dungeoneering, and therefore you got your own cape and new emote like one wearing now. But they also released along with that the Sunken Pyramid and Slayer Codex with the release of Menaphos. So that's what this video is about. So the Sunken Pyramid is a dungeon home to the Order of the Slayer Masters, allowing you to become your own Slayer Master. Now to enter the dungeon you are required to have a minimum of 99 Slayer, so you cannot get in there without it. You should also have your Ghostspeak Amulet with you the first time you go there. Now to even get to this Sunken Pyramid, what you need to do has started the Menaphos quests series. Now I say started, you do not actually have to have finished the first quest that actually brings you into Menaphos. Once you're in there up to a certain point, you can then sort of go off and do whatever you want. But the starting quest you want to do is the Jack of Spades quest. If you need a guide on that, I have a link for that in the video description below. But once you actually get access to the city of Menaphos, what you can do is go and speak to Portmaster Khaos, who can be found in the port district of Menaphos. And then when you speak to him, you can ask him to take you to the Sunken Pyramid, and that's what this is. So when you enter the pyramid for the first time, make sure you've got your Ghostspeak Amulet or Cramlet with you in order to speak to the ghost Phaser, who can be found near the Chest of Souls. And Phaser will basically tell you that you have come home to the Order of the Slayer Masters, and becoming 99 Slayer was just the starting point to becoming your own Slayer Master. Basically everything I just said. So the main feature in here is you've got the Chest of Souls. So when you click the Chest of Souls, the ghost Phaser will give you 25 to 50 Ushapti, and your Slayer level depend on the amount given, along with a Slayer Codex to keep track of Slayer monsters you have captured. So souls for the Slayer Codex can be captured off or on a task, but the chance of obtaining a soul doubles when killing the monster on a Slayer task, and also when you are already level 120 Slayer. Now, there is a total of 151 monster souls that need to be captured, and you must have an empty Ushapti with you to be able to capture the souls from Slayer monsters. You're not required to possess or equip the Slayer Codex in order to capture the souls. Capturing a soul will also reward a small amount of Slayer experience, and souls are automatically captured if eligible when the monster is killed. So in order to capture all 151 souls, players will need to have 117 Slayer in addition to other requirements. So the 151 Slayer monsters all start off with number 1 as a really low level one, which is just a monkey, and basically the 151th Slayer monster, it all starts going up in difficulty and the strength of the monster. So obviously you've got monsters from all across your different Slayer assignments, but also ones that don't actually require a Slayer level to kill, so for example a goblin or a rat. So I am intending to obtain all 151 Slayer souls, and I'm also planning to make Slayer guides alongside with this. So what I'll be doing is uploading a guide for every single Slayer monster that comes into the Slayer Codex, and it'll be a guide based on if you're trying to get level 99 Slayer for the first time, and also for those who are trying to obtain the soul. So with the Slayer Codex also comes a Slayer dungeon, so you can also choose to place your Ushdabis in the empty chamber past the Chest of Souls. Now there are 3 chambers that can house monsters, with each chamber holding up to 5 monsters, and you can build spots and rooms to accommodate either large or small monsters. The southeastern room holds small monsters, and the 2 northern rooms hold both large and small monsters. Now to place a monster spawn, you need to enter the builder mode from the front of the door of the Sunken Pyramid when you first click it, and use one of your field Ushaptis on one of the hotspots provided, a little bit similar to how you do construction in your player own house. And once confirmed, that monster will be placed and will remain unless later removed by yourself. And Slayer XP will be awarded for placing Ushdapi and also count towards your Slayer Codex completion. Like I said though, monsters can be removed and will then disappear, and once placed, a monster cannot be moved from one area to the other. Also, the monsters placed in these chambers will be the same as monsters found elsewhere, so they will be treated exactly the same as ones you'd encounter in their own habitat. So very similar like player-owned houses, players with 99 Slayer can also visit other players' dungeons, provided they have a monster in them. The owner does not have to be in the dungeon in order for others to enter, and players can enter another Slayer's dungeon as long as they're on the same world and have the appropriate friend settings on. Now, some monsters can't be placed inside a dungeon because of their dynamics, and this includes things like wall beasts and Acheron mammoths due to their environment mechanics. Other monsters can be placed but will have certain restrictions. So that's basically the background of the Sunken Pyramid. So the main thing you're trying to do is obviously obtain all 151 Slayer souls for your Codex, but also additionally you can build your own Slayer dungeon for your friends to complete. So obviously you can get like the strongest assigned monsters in your dungeon, obviously easier said than done, and allow your friends to come and kill them, which will count towards Slayer assignments. So I was actually really excited when this first came out because Slayer was my first ever 99 skill. Those of you who've been with my channel for a while now will remember that, and obviously 120 Slayer was the thing I wanted to go for next, even before I knew that they were going to do this. So for me, being my own Slayer master is pretty cool, and obviously once I do get completed, you guys will be able to use my dungeon anytime you like. That sounded a really bad pun. But obviously between now and then, I'm going to make a guide on each of the Slayer monsters so you guys can also go about collecting them yourselves. So the additional rewards from this are for each sort of group of souls you capture. So from 10 souls you'll get a new mural in your dungeon lobby, 20 souls means you get some extra Slayer experience when wearing your Slayer helmet, then that goes on and on and on all the way up to 110, which is then where you'll have your Master Quest Cape requirement completed, and when you get all 151 you'll be given the Golden Slayer Master title and a trimmed completionist cape requirement completed as well. So yeah, that's this background video on the Sunken Pyramid. So if you did click off one of my guides for your Slayer assignment, you can obviously go back to that video now and obviously make sure you've got your Ushbatis with you if you're planning to obtain the Slayer soul, and obviously I look forward to helping you guys along the way with that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you found it useful, please make sure you like, favourite, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share with your friends. Thanks everyone, bye bye.